Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, or welcome if you're new. My name is Magdalena. I have a crochet small business, so I'm on Etsy and Instagram, and I will also put the links in the description if that is easier. I'm so excited to film today's video because it is going to be crocheting my dress for my high school graduation. So today is Thursday, May 29th, and I graduate on June 24th. So I have a little bit less than a month to finish this, and I have not made a dress before, but I am determined to do it because this girl in my English class today was talking about how she was going to take her friends to go see her dress. She was like, can I go to Miss So-and-so's room? I want to show them my dress. And I was like confused for a sec, but then I realized she's the sewing teacher, and I was like, oh my god, she is sewing her dress for graduation. What the heck? I'm jealous. I figured it was a perfect time to sort of start the process. I don't have the yarn for it yet, but I'm gonna start, I found some inspo pics, but I will probably use cotton yarn. Well, I will use cotton yarn. I usually use acrylic yarn. I'm gonna use white, and I'm gonna have to find a pattern that I like and everything. But I know that my mom, as much as she loves me, she's gonna be like, you don't have time to crochet that, like, you only have a month. But I'm determined to get it done. I really think I can do it. So I told her, I might need you to take me to get yarn for a project, but I can't tell you what it is because it's gonna be a surprise. So I'm gonna surprise all of my family members by making it. The only thing is I have been saying to my mother that I need to get a graduation dress, which honestly she might forget about, so we'll see, but we'll see how long I can go without telling her that I am making it. Anyway, I need to get crocheting. Well, not crocheting, sorry, I don't have the yarn yet, but I need to figure out what I'm doing in terms of the pattern and everything. So I'm gonna scroll Pinterest for a little bit. I have some saved, but I'm just gonna narrow it down to one pattern. Okay, I'm back in my room. I don't know why I felt like filming in the living room before, but I'm in my room now. And I found the dress pattern that I'm going to use. It's actually, I think it's called like Adelaida. I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but I will put up a photo of the one that I actually did end up choosing. So I looked at the pattern and it said I need a 3mm and a 3.5mm. And I looked through my hooks and I have a 3.5, but I need a 3. So I'm going to find some yarn. I'll probably look at Michael's since unfortunately Joanne did close. But yeah, I'll probably go to Michael's. I'll look online first though to see if they have what I want. I think she said size 2 or 3 yarn. I'll have to double check. Hello, it is June 13th. I have what is that, 11 days, less than 12 days, 11 days to get this dress finished. And the last time I filmed was May 29th, which was when I got my cap and gown. And so I wanted to show you my progress on the dress. I had some Etsy orders to get out, and I did those nonstop. But then I cut off my Etsy, basically, I think I turned it onto like vacation mode is what they call it, before I even started filming those last clips of this video. So I just had to get those orders out, and then I had to do one other project for my first graders that I help, the kids that I help in elementary school, but this is what I have so far. So I measured like around myself basically. And then this is what I've done in 10 minutes. So it's like halfway. So the first row is a half double crochet. So this is like basically where my waist is. And then it's gonna build up to here in like this like sort of shell pattern. So the first row is half double crochets, and then you do a bunch of double crochets in like different patterns to build up that shell stitch. So this is very small. My hook is 3mm. It's super duper small. I don't love this yarn. Like it looks nice once it's made, but it's not the best to work with, but it's not terrible. So I'm gonna keep on moving, and yeah, I think maybe I'll update you once I've gotten to like an hour of work or something. I'm trying not to film too often because I need to focus on getting it done. But I do want to show you some of my progress, so I'll let you know once I have like an hour-ish of it done. I'm basically at 2 hours, and again, I kind of finished like one of the like sections of it, so the section I was working on is like you double crochet a few and then do a front post double crochet and then half double crochet, front post double crochet, and then the second row is basically the same, but you do back post. So it's really hard to tell, but this is what it's looking like so far. You can sort of see like the shells towards the bottom. It's really hard to see on camera, but like a shell is right here, and then like this is like one of the back posts that like pops out a little bit more. And right now it's a little bit over 1.5 inches. And I think I said this, but it basically just said like go until it's like measurement B, and so for me that's 3 inches. So I don't love the back post double crochet or front post double crochet. I think back post is a little easier, just because my yarn is so thin that the front post is kind of hard to find, but this is what it's looking like, and I'm at 1 hour and 54 minutes. So yeah, so I guess that these 2 rows took about an hour, but I'm hoping now that I get the stitches a little bit better, I'm gonna do the row with front post and the row with back post, and then I think that will be close enough to 3 inches. But we'll see. I'll meet you when I am done with that. And I've been thinking about doing some like time lapses of me crocheting, because I like to include those in my videos, but I feel like with this it's just like a lot of like, I'm like very focused on it, and I find it, I don't know, I feel like when I'm recording myself I crochet slower, and I really can't afford to crochet slower with this project, because I really need to get it done. So I actually only did 1 more row so far, but I just wanted to sort of show you. So I feel like you can see these little, like, the posts a little bit more. They're really sticking out, and it was a lot easier to do because I guess the way it works out is that you're basically crocheting into like the post. So like after you've done the first 2 rows, then when you go back into the 3rd row, the post is already sticking out, and so like that's what you're crocheting into. That's a really bad explanation, but okay, I'm gonna measure it now just to see. Okay, yeah, it's like 2.25 inches, so I'm gonna do 1 more row, just because that finishes like it's kind of like 2 rows that go together, is like 1 section. So I'm just gonna go back and do like the back post double crochet row, and then check in with you again. Alright, so far I've done 2 sets of those like front post and back post rows, but I do think I'm gonna do a 3rd set, so that's 2 more rows, just because it's not quite, it's like keeps flopping over, but it's just not quite 3 inches. So I think that will just build it up a little bit more, and then I'll be at 3 inches. And after that, I think I'm gonna call it a night, because it is getting a little bit late. But I feel like here's where you can really see like the difference between the like shell stitch and then the half double crochets and double crochets. So yeah, I'm gonna do another set, and then I'll check back in, and hopefully it will be 3 inches. Alright, I did another set of those half double crochet rows, and it's almost 3 inches, and I just cannot take another set of these rows. So I'm going to move on to the next. It's still on this same little waist panel thing, but it's another row of the shell stitches. So I'm gonna do that. And then the next row is just a row of half double crochets all the way across, and then you fasten off the yarn. So I'm gonna do that and then go to bed, so that way I can at least say that I got one section done today. So it's the next morning and I'm trying it on, and it might be a little big, but I'm just gonna trust the process, and if anything, when I sew it together, I can just make it overlap a little bit, hopefully. I'll make it work. So this is like about where it would sit, because I measured it like to start here, but then in the back it's like, I hope you can see this. Yeah, you can see, okay. It's like just like total overlap. So I'm thinking that, like, depending on how it works out, I could have it sit lower. Like, we'll just see. Okay, so now it's Sunday, and I really didn't get anything done yesterday, but I got 21 minutes of crocheting done. That is literally it, and it was all in the car too. So this is what I got done. Basically, it's gonna be like this, like, front part here. So I sectioned off these, and then this is the front end. I guess I'm a little more than halfway through the third row. I think it's the third row, second row, third row. I think it's the third row. And yeah, so I did 21 minutes of crocheting yesterday. But basically I just need to build this up until, like, from here up is 4 inches. So I will check back in with you then, I think, because I just need to crochet and not film as much. Okay, this is what it's looking like. Everything's covered, like, so I hope that YouTube is okay with this. Like, this is a show, so but basically I have it, like, cinched in the back. I just put a it's called stitch marker on it, but this is what it's gonna look like. I built it up to 4 inches, and then even if I were to, like, scrunch it a little bit, it's still, like, it still covers everything. It's still cute. So yeah, this is what it's looking like. And then now I have to build the straps. So from here I'll go back and back. Well, basically it's a flat panel, but, like, then, like, once I try it on, I'll sew it so that it's, like, in the back. The back is still very big, but because of the way, I don't know, I looked at the way that you tie it, and it's a little bit complicated, but I think I can make it work. So anyway, I'm so proud of this, and I'm going to move on to, like, the back of it, like I was saying over here. Okay, so I started on the straps. You can honestly barely even see it, but basically it has you connect here and then double crochet across. And I can't tell if you're supposed to decrease the same amount on both sides or not, but based on the picture, it seems like I should be decreasing more on this side, but we're just gonna try it out and see what it looks like. So I cleared the timer, and that way, and I wrote down the time. It was like 2 hours that this panel took me. And then that way, if I do mess it, this up, I can just reset the timer, and that way I have a pretty good understanding of how long it takes. But I'm just going to start by decreasing on both sides the same amount and see if that gives me the results I want, and if not, we'll figure out what to do. Alright, it's Monday, and I got a lot of the shirt done in school today. So I don't have a first period class, but we have 4 periods, and my second and third period, my second is a study hall to begin with, but my third period we didn't have an assignment, and then my, like, lunch study hall that I was talking about, I worked on it, and then my English class was basically a study hall as well, because senior grades were due last week, so I literally don't have any more assignments for the rest of the school year. So I'm just gonna be crocheting. But I wanted to update you. So it's a little bit hard to see, Actually, I'm gonna see if I can try it on. It's a little loose in the back. So in order to get it over my head, like even without the towel, this was earlier in the day, I had to add some chains in the back. I guess you can't really see now, but I guess you can see that the back half isn't together. So I added some chains and then I did ruffles on top of that. But like, this is what the top is looking like. These straps aren't gonna come all the way down here. These are gonna, like, there's gonna be straps that I start here and then they go backwards, and so then everything will tie at the shoulders. But yeah, this is it for now. I just realized that I think yesterday I was saying that it felt like it was gonna be too big on me. Like I was gonna have to just sort of like kind of scrunch up the back almost to make it fit me. And so that's why it is a little big in the back, because the yarn doesn't stretch so much. So I had to make it wide enough for my shoulders, which is obviously wider than my waist. But I'm just gonna figure that out when I get there. Like once I finish the whole thing. And also, since I am wearing it for graduation, like I'll have my gown on, so like you can't really see the back anyway, so we'll figure it out when we get there. Hi, I don't know why I felt like recording this in the car, but I did. I guess sometimes my room just gets a little boring. But I had one class today where I could work on this. My other two classes are like an early childhood program, so I'm actually like in a special education classroom and working, but I started working on the skirt. So it is just basically like ruffles. So I started the front straps last night, because I think I said like it's front straps and back straps and then they tie on the shoulders. And I had started those, but then I realized I'd rather have the skirt done, because if it gets to graduation and I don't have the front straps done, that's okay, because I can just, like, these straps are long enough that I can just stitch them in. And the skirt is started like right underneath the ruffles. It's hard to see because I've just started it. But I was very confused on how to do the skirt. Because one thing about the pattern, and this is a critique, if you're the pattern tester watching this, I mean this with all the love, but it's a critique, like a criticism, like in a kind way, but there is a small problem with the pattern, and that is that none of the tester photos have a skirt. There's only one photo that is the full dress, and then it doesn't really explain how to do the skirt. It just says like continue doing V-stitch rows, but where are we doing these V-stitch rows, right? So it has you do the ruffles, and then like the next direction is like, if you're making the skirt, continue doing V-stitch rows, which is what these ruffles are. So, but then if you continue it on this, that means that there's no ruffles on the skirt, because it'll, like, there's no ruffles and then skirt. But the pattern, I'll put a photo up so you can see what I'm talking about, but there's ruffles and then there's an actual skirt. If you were to just continue the skirt from the ruffles, there wouldn't be like two separate sections, if that makes sense. So that's why I did it like underneath here. So like the first few rows are gonna sort of be covered by the ruffles, but I guess that's the goal. Like you'll see it once I've done more rows, but I did one full row and then and then I guess I'm like halfway done with the second row. Yeah, because this is where I started, this orange stitch marker, ignore the blue one, and then this is where the second row is. So, yeah, it's really hard to see right now, but I just wanted to sort of update, and then once I get going on the skirt more, I'll show you. The other thing is it says, like, just make some increases in your butt area, which I get that everyone's
body shape is different, so like obviously you need to keep it vague, but I guess I would appreciate if it said like, I don't know, like measure, you know what, I don't even know how I would change the pattern. I just feel like it could have been phrased a little bit better. I've never written a pattern in my life, so I can't comment too much, but as someone who reads the patterns, I feel like it's a little bit too vague. I did figure out though, like where to start the skirt, since it's like underneath the ruffles, based on the photo. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really loving the setup, so I feel like I'm just like yapping a lot. But I need to go inside and work on the skirt, because today, and my dad just reminded me of this, today is officially 1 week until my graduation. Yeah, this time next week, I'll already be at graduation. That's so crazy to me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I need to get going on this. Also, I learned that I have an event on Thursday night and Friday night. They're both just like dinner hangout things, and so with various family friends, so it'll be fine. I can probably crochet, but this is where the skirt is right now. I think it's 4 rows right now. So it's kind of like just coming under the ruffles. See, like it starts here. I feel like you can see it easier now that it's longer, so it starts just under the ruffles, and then the hope is that it will kind of flow out like that. What I realized about it is you like in every chain space, it's a V-stitch. So if you don't know what that is, it's a double crochet, a chain, and a double crochet all in the same stitch. So I don't feel like actually thinking about it, but my thought is that it will expand, just because like I was thinking that if you're like crocheting in a circle, right, and you just like, let's say it's like out, like it's just literally like a circle, and you just like single crochets or double crochets or half, whatever it is, and you just do 1 stitch in each circle, it's gonna stay the same, basically. Like it's the same amount of stitches, right? It's gonna just like get taller, or like, you know what I mean, like it's gonna stay the same. But my thought with this stitch is that because you're going in like the chain space, again, like I don't feel like thinking about it, but in my brain it makes sense that maybe it would just kind of naturally expand. If not, if the skirt doesn't end up working out, I'm just gonna keep it as the top, because I do think this is really cute. Again, I have to do the front straps, but I do still like this, and I have a white skirt that I'll probably pair with this if this skirt doesn't work out. So yeah, this is gonna take a while, this skirt here, but I got it. It has to take less than a week. I don't want to stop working on this. Like, it's just, oh my god, it's turning out so cute. But I have tomorrow, like, we have an alternating schedule. I don't know if I've talked about this. It's like A and B days, so like every other day I have the same classes, basically. So tomorrow I have 3 classes where I'm not doing anything, and we have to return our Chromebooks tomorrow, so like we literally cannot do any work. I mean, we could do paperwork, but no one's making you do that, especially because grades were due, so we quite literally have nothing to do in any of my classes, and I'm just going to work on this. It will be a little repetitive because it's just this same stitch over and over again, but for reference, these 4 rows took me 2 hours. So I'll probably just update you like at the end of the day tomorrow, because yeah, not a lot of progress is happening. Alright, today is Wednesday, and I worked on it in school a bunch. It doesn't look like it, but I'm almost at like 5 hours of work on just the skirt, and yeah, this is what it looks like. So like from here to here, 5 hours almost of work. So yeah, maybe like 4.5, but anyway, so these stitches at the very bottom, as you can see, are a little different. They're called a double V stitch, and it says to do that around the butt to increase it. So that's what I'm doing. And I guess that's how you get it to flow a little better. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, this is what it's looking like. So there'll be a few rows of this increase, and that gives it the pleated look as well. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, I think when you do the double V, you have to do a row of regular V after and then go back to the double V. I don't know. I'm gonna check the pattern, but again, I'm so happy with it. And like, even like this is cute. Like, I feel like before I even did the skirt, it was cute, but like now it's cute as well. Like, so. Okay, this is honestly not much of an update, but I did say I would come back when I finished the skein, and I just finished the skein. So I think that last night maybe it was like I was like back here or something. So I got around to like the front. So this is where I am, kind of like by my right leg, and then a little bit like in the back is where the end of the row is. So I'm gonna restart. I'm less and less optimistic about the length of it, but I'm not doing any more increases, so I think it'll be fine. Yeah, honestly, the next time I update might be when it's finished, just because I need to really work on this, and just sort of, I don't know, hopefully it will be the length that I want it to be. Okay, I did not work on it as much as I wanted to, but I am going to give you a final update for the end of Friday. So this is how much yarn I have left in the skein, and then after I finish this, I have one more skein. So fingers crossed it'll be enough. I don't think I need to do any more increases. So I did those 2 rows of increases and then started a normal row, and it's still looking pretty ruffly, but I don't hate it. This is kind of where it is. I know it doesn't look too much longer than earlier today, but I'm pretty happy with it. I have all of tomorrow to work on it, and I'm gonna try to get up decently early and just work on this. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it is looking so far. Okay, it's literally like 2 minutes after that last clip. I have not finished it, but what I realized is that although this might give me, this last skein might give me the length I want, the sleeves aren't technically done, because I'm supposed to make straps from like this side and then they tie. I think I said this before, but so I'm going to buy an extra skein of yarn, and we're going to desperately hope it will get here on time. Last time I was at Michael's too, I looked for it and they didn't have it. So buying online is the only option for me anyway, because it's out of stock where I live. But so yeah, I'm just gonna order this and then start working on the yarn, on the last skein of yarn that I do have, and see how far this one will get me. I recorded a video and the audio like didn't really like translate very well, so what I said in that is that it was like late at night when I was recording, and I think I said I bought 4 more skeins of yarn. I bought more regardless, and my rationale for that was that even if I don't end up using it for my high school graduation, which, spoiler alert, I didn't, I will want to work on it and kind of add to it for my college graduation. So I figured I would want to use the yarn regardless for this project, even if it didn't get done in time for my high school graduation. And then also in that video, like, since it was at night, I said something about like, let me show you the update like in the morning. So that's what this next clip is. Okay, I'm gonna give you an update on what this is looking like now. I've not added to it since the last clip, but I said I'd show you in the morning, so now it's the morning. So this is the length. I'm gonna try something. Okay, I can't tell how I feel about this. I was gonna say let me know, but this isn't in real time. You can still let me know. So, I didn't make this. You know, it's just a plain white skirt. It's not my vision. It wasn't my original vision, but I don't hate it. Okay, I feel like from far away, it looks fine because, like, you can't really see how thick these are. But, I mean, they're really, really ruffly. Like, that's a lot. I'm gonna cinch this. So it'll be like that a little bit more. You can't even really see. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna sew in these, and I'm going to keep them this long because once I get more yarn, I'm gonna make them full so that, like, I'm gonna crochet up so that they can tie. This is the scraps I have, so I'm gonna use that to cinch and possibly sew, but then after that, I'm going to at least frog this. So I did 2 rows of increases here, and I'm just gonna take it back out so that it's 1 row, and then go back. And I know that's cutting it close, but it's too ruffly. It's too much. I don't like it. I don't like it. So. Alright, I have sewed in everything here. On the straps, you can barely see, but on the straps, I didn't sew all the way down because I didn't have enough yarn, so I just did it at the top and at the bottom. Okay, it's later in the day. I just changed because it's 90,000 degrees here, hence why I have my fan going, so if you can hear that, I apologize. But I frogged it all the way back to that first row of the increases, and now I'm working on just a normal round of stitches. The nice thing about this is it uses, I guess, like, about half as much yarn, so hopefully that means I can do some longer, like some more rows than I had in the past, but also because I need this dress by tomorrow, it might just turn out to be a top, and you know what, that's okay. So yeah, we'll just see how far we get. I'm really just trying to go with the flow with this because at least I have something. It's not what I wanted, but I have something. And I made it, so that's pretty freaking cool. Okay, I finished this literally right before I left. Like, I didn't even sew in the ends, so I didn't get a chance to film before, but I just got back from graduation. Okay, wait, I'm trying to figure out where it's best to put you, I think. Oh my goodness! So, I cinched this a little more than when I last filmed, and I really like how it turned out. Like, I didn't necessarily want it to be, like, complete bra cups, but I liked that it has more of a v-neck. The straps, like I said, I sewed in on the sides here, but I didn't sew them all the way. And then they were a little bit loose, so I had a clip from my mom and a clip from my friend, and I just clipped them to my bra strap because they were falling down. And even with that, they were falling down a little bit. They each fell down once, but before that, they were falling down constantly. And I had my giant robe on, but still. What else? Okay, ends are not weaved in. So yeah, there's some ends here. I think back here is maybe where the row ends, and so I did not weave those in. But because I want to make this a dress, I think I won't weave those ones in anyway. I'll weave in all the other ones that I missed, but I could kind of get away with it not being completely finished because I had the robe and everything on, which it's like 100 degrees here, so I'm not putting that back on to show you. But yeah, I am very proud of how it turned out. I think that even if I were to do the skirt, or like when I do the skirt, I'm not going to do any more increase rows. If I do, it'll be like kind of like down here more so that it's flowy. But I was very happy with it. The back is incredibly loose, but honestly, I like that. That's not bad. I think what I might do, actually my aunt was asking me, she was like, oh, did you line it and everything? I was like, no, I literally finished it right before I got here. But I think I might just kind of sew some bra cups in so that way I have coverage, but then in the back it's like clear and everything and I don't have to worry about bra straps. So that is it for now. I think I need like to upload videos more often, so I think I'm just gonna end this video here. This will be like kind of part 1, and then at some point in the future I will work on the skirt of it, and I don't think I said this, I said it to my parents, but what I thought would be kind of cute is, since I didn't get to do the skirt for now, but I do have yarn coming, I'll do the full skirt, and that can be my outfit for college graduation, which I know is a long time away, but at some point I will finish the skirt part of this. For now I just was wearing this white skirt that I had, and yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, I feel like it's gonna be a long one, so thank you so much, and yeah, I will see you in my next video.